Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to our first session of Suprema Global Connect 2020. Actually, 20 has another significance for Suprema this year. We are celebrating our 20th year anniversary. And my name is Hancho Kim, and I'll be a host for today. I'm a managing director of sales here at Suprema. So I guess considering the time zone, I believe most people that are joining today are from Europe to Asia. So I hope you guys are keeping well and healthy. So we all know that we currently live in a period of worst pandemic in a century that is affecting over 200 countries, costing the lives of close to 1 million people worldwide. And I think the worst part of this is that this thing is here to stay for many, many more months to come. And it almost seems like being able to cope with this pandemic has become a new norm, a new way of life. And we believe, as security industry players, have the obligation to bring new, safe, and secure solutions, not only to protect our customers' assets and facilities, but also to protect the well-being of our customers through contactless solutions to prevent the spread of the virus. So we decided to dedicate our Connect event this year to contactless solutions to show how we believe we can help to address the needs of our customers during these difficult times. And this session is the first of the 3 sessions that talks about Suprema's contactless solutions. And I would like to start with one of Suprema's core strengths and getting stronger day by day, which is the facial recognition. So in the next 20 minutes or so, I'll be talking specifically about our new product, which we launched recently this month. And I'm quite sure that many of you have already visited our website and have seen posts on social media about this product. But before going into the details of this great new product, I would like to start with a brief history on how we have pioneered in this field of facial recognition. So if you have any questions during my presentation, please don't hesitate to use the Q&A window to upload your questions. We have some staff standing by to answer these questions real time. And hopefully, if I have some time remaining at the end, I could go over some of these questions as well. Okay, so let's get started. So little flashback to 2011. So after many, many months of research into developing our facial recognition algorithm, we launched our first generation face recognition terminal. As you can imagine, back then, facial recognition was not so popular. And even though people thought it was a very interesting and cool technology, it was not a widely accepted solution in access control or time and attendance. However, we were able to win the hearts of people that were keen on the convenience of the facial recognition and the reliability that it offered, which was very close to the experience of fingerprint biometrics, which people were a little more familiar with. It was an algorithm based on recognizing people through their IR images, supporting up to 1,000 users and 1 to N, and 10,000 users 1 to 1. So for the non-biometric experts out there, 1 to N and 1 to 1 means, so 1 to 1, 1 to N is you're comparing your face against many faces in the database. And 1 to 1 is when you compare your face against your presumed face in the database. So what happens is you identify yourself through a code or your name, and it will pull out your template from the database and it will match against yourself. So that will be a 1-to-1 matching. So through the IR image processing and the IR LEDs surrounding the cameras, we were able to detect fake faces and to work under different illumination conditions. So the enrollment was a little bit hectic, but intuitive enough for people to follow. And I guess I have to admit that we've had our hiccups along the way, but eventually we came through with a reliable solution that our customers really trusted. So generally, this was the first product that really proved to the world that the facial recognition is a viable solution for identity verification for both access control and time and attendance. So after more research in 2016, we launched the FaceStation 2, our second generation facial recognition terminal, with a lot of enhancements from our original FaceStation. We have dramatically improved the processing power to a 1.4 gigahertz quad-core CPU running Android OS with capacitive touch LCD, ergonomic design to be able to support people from various heights, from people that are short to tall, enhanced IR algorithm to support 3,000 users 1 to N, which was a significant improvement from our original, which was 1,000 users, and 30,000 users 1 to 1. So better face detection, fake face detection, enhanced illumination to 25,000 lux. So to give you a perspective, 25,000 lux would be, so anywhere indoors, you would be able to install this device even next to a window where there's bright sunlight. So very flexible in terms of where you can install these terminals. Added support for a multi-class RF card. So we had finally support for HID, prox, and iClass, along with EM and MyFair. And a lot more features on top of that as well. So just a complete revamp from our original FaceStation. Then in 2019, which was last year, we released a slimmed down version of FaceStation 2 to bring a very competitive feature set down to a lower segment to address a bigger audience. So we managed to embed a more powerful CPU, offering the exact same capacity and illumination support as the FaceStation 2, and offering a little more compact Chameleon design to give customers more options to be able to install in different locations, such as a door frame. So here is our little journey of facial recognition. We have a very long track of offering these face products globally in all continents. So definitely a proven track record to work with people of different ethnicities. And we continue to increase our market share in this area of facial recognition. And just this month, we introduced our third generation face product, FaceStation F2, which is probably the most advanced and complicated product we have ever built. So I'm happy to be able to give you a short introduction of this product, which I hope you'll be able to deliver to your partners and customers as well. So now, the key innovation that we brought to the table with the F2 is the fusion. So it's about everything that we learned from the IR-based recognition over many years, and we combine that with the new AI-based visual recognition algorithm to maximize the benefits of both. So we learn from experience, IR gives you better anti-spoofing mechanism to detect fake faces, whereas the visual offers the speed in both enrollment and authentication. Not only that, we were able to combine this fusion concept with our enhanced COVID solutions to extend beyond going contactless for prevention of spread of virus through various screening measures. So we'll talk more about them in just a while. So let's focus on the FaceStation F2 for now. So with the F2, we have the most advanced product that Suprema has ever built. We push the boundaries in all fronts, from design, security, the range, illumination, speed, and capacity. And let's look at these each briefly. So first with the design. So we worked really hard to develop not one, but two products to choose, either two biometric authentication with face or fingerprint, and single biometric authentication with face only. So with the ODB model, which is the one on the left, we give you the additional option to use fingerprint biometrics on top of the facial recognition. So both of these models would offer all these rich features as default. Something that everyone has been waiting so dearly is support for outdoor, which has never been an option before with our previous FaceStations, but finally available with the F2 as IP65. Everything else remains pretty much the same, except for the choice of RF cards. So the HID technology, the prox and iClass, is only available in the non-biometric fingerprint biometric option on the right. So with the AB model, would be the model that would support the EM MyFair, DESFire, and HID prox and iClass, as well as the Felica. So they all both are equipped with NFC and BLE to work with our recently launched mobile access solution, which actually happens to be the topic of our second live session. So I encourage you to register for that also, which is, I believe, next week. In terms of capacity, our first generation and second generation offered IR-based authentication in the range of 1,000 to 3,000 users, 1 to N, based on our machine learning algorithm. With the F2, we have adopted a new deep learning algorithm to significantly improve the capacity to 50,000 users. And that's around 17 times what we offered previously, and 100,000 users one-to-one. And our Slim 2 fingerprint sensor is capable of supporting up to 100,000 users one-to-N and one-to-one. And this sensor is the world's slimmest optical sensor you'll find. And it fit very well in the limited space that we have at the bottom. So in fact, the F2 is the first device that is benefiting from this slim sensor. So I guess there are many firsts on this device with a lot of different features. So with regards to security, I guess there are several aspects of security which we paid really close attention to. First, and most important, I guess, would be how accurately can you identify people and what is the fail rate going to be? Second is an extension of the first, but how strong is it going to be against spoofing? So how strong is it to detect fake faces, such as printed photographs or snapshots from your phone? Third, how secure is my data going to be? So where is the data going to be stored and how is it going to be stored? So we really paid attention to address these key security concerns. In terms of accuracy, this is where the whole fusion concept comes into play. Using a mix of IR and visual camera, we run through a very complex sequence of verifications to detect and match against both IR and visual templates for what we call diffusion matching. During this whole process, we use the IR imaging algorithm to detect the liveness of the face, which we have learned over many years, and improve that further in conjunction with the visual image to be able to detect any forms of fake faces. So we really take advantage of both IR and visual image to determine what is fake and what is not. At the end of the day, we were able to reach our final target of 10 billion to 1 FAR, which is false accept rate, and under 2% FRR, which is false reject rate. So for those of you who are not biometric experts again, to put this into perspective of real life practice, let's say we have maximum users enrolled on the device, 50,000, which is the maximum 1 to N capacity of the FaceStation F2. In this scenario, there is a mere 1 to 200,000 tries that a person may be incorrectly identified. And this has been very carefully tested in our labs, and results are truly amazing. And I'm almost positive that no other competitor has presented such data with any level of confidence. With regards to data protection, we understand these are important personal information, the biometric data of anyone, even though they are in their templatized form and we never store an image. And we have a strong obligation to protect these information as much as possible. So with any other biometric templates that we handle, whether it's fingerprint or facial biometric data, we store them in the device and server fully encrypted in 256-bit AES encryption and transmitted over IP using TLS 1.2 protocol. So you can be sure that state-of-the-art encryption mechanisms are used for both storing and transmitting these templates. To go a step further in protecting user data, so you can actually choose to store these face templates on a card so that no information is stored on the device or the server. So the template is carried with you on your card, which you use to match against yourself. So this means that when you present your card to the device, the template is read off the card and matched against your face to ensure that you are the owner of the card. Hence, there is no storage of any biometric data involved. So this is an absolute essential feature if you need to enforce the highest level of security protocols in your site. Next is speed in which we enroll people's faces. So obviously there is the conventional enrollment at the device, which is as simple as taking a photo. So it's just seconds. This will ensure we capture both the IR template and the visual template for the most accurate matching, the fusion matching that I've described. However, we do offer other forms of enrollment, such as a DB link, where you're just pushing these templates into the database. CSV import, so you're actually putting these templates on a CSV file and importing that, and also enrollment with your mobile. So you would get a link on your mobile to open up a browser session to actually take a photo using your phone and enroll that through the device. So these additional enrollments allows you to capture just a visual template. And then next time you approach the device to authenticate, it will match your face against the visual template that you have enrolled. And at the same time, it will take an IR image and update your database so that you have the both visual and IR template for more accurate matches on the following authentications. So it's the first time you authenticate with these other forms of enrollment that you just get a visual template to match against. And once you approach the device and do the matching, it will take an IR image of you to make sure that you have both the IR and the visual template stored on your database for a little more strict and secure authentications going forward. Next is speed in which people are authenticated. So as this device can be mounted and probably will be mounted on speed gates and turnstiles where people are constantly moving, we have added an authentication mode called fast matching, which allows matching of faces as people approach the device without having to stop to intentionally place your face on a device. So this allows you to use the device in sites where there's heavier traffic of people entering the premises. But obviously there is a trade-off, as since we are not using the fusion matching for the fast matching mode, you may weaken the anti-spoofing protection. So this will be a site with a lot of eyes. So maybe a fake face is less of a concern because you have a lot of people, a lot of traffic. So maybe people are not prone to use fake faces or anything like that in the site. So now let's move on to what we have done to address, to offer solutions to better manage the health concerns of COVID-19. So regardless of where you are in the globe, I think we have all become very familiar with this picture. At least in Seoul, where I live, I'm required to wear a mask and have my temperature screened just about everywhere I go. And F2 makes this whole process very easy and quick, as you can choose to include or omit certain screening measures based on what you want to enforce for your facility. So if you have all the options turned on, all the screening options turned on, this will be the sequence of screening the device will perform, starting with detection of a face to determine whether the person is wearing a mask, then to check the temperature, and then when the screening is complete, the final face authentication will be performed. So you may choose to omit the mask detection and go straight to temperature check, and then authentication, or skip temperature check and go straight to authentication from the mask detection, or just skip the whole authentication process to check if you are wearing a mask or your temperature is normal. So you can use the device as a standalone device for screening purposes without having to enroll anybody. So it's an independent device that checks just for the mask, if you're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, or if your temperature is normal or abnormal, without having to do any authentication. Also note that our algorithm is able to authenticate with both with or without a mask. And you can configure to swap the whole sequence to perform the authentication first, so that you keep a record and track who failed to wear a mask or failed the temperature check. So basically in your log, you would have a person, let's say Tom, and in the log, you will have that he did not wear a mask or did not pass the temperature check. So you have this record for later, for keeping track. And also you have the option to skip either the mask or temperature screening after the authentication. So it really offers a flexible option to choose a different sequence to your desired screening process. Last but not least, our temperature screening is made possible with an additional temperature camera module, which is pretty much the same module that we used in the FaceStation 2. And we have deeply integrated this camera with our face detection algorithm to ensure we get the most accurate and consistent measurement every time the measurement is taken. So our facial detection algorithm will determine the exact location of your face and find the right spot on the face to take the measurement consistently every time. So that was a quick overview of FaceStation F2. And if you didn't know already, this product is shipping now. So please contact our local partners and representatives to get more information on the product. So I would like to leave you with a final note that it's obvious that this whole COVID-19 has brought about changes in our daily lives and the way we interact with people, and have changed people's views on how access control should and should not be through the whole contactless experience. It is also obvious that this has stirred up the industry to give birth to many new players that offer similar contactless and COVID-related solutions. So I guess the question to ask is, would you trust to work with these new players that may just come and go to protect your valuable assets and the well-being of your people? Work with somebody that has pioneered and have grown the knowledge for almost a decade and know that we'll be here to stay. I think the choice is quite clear. So to summarize, I would like to play a short video that our marketing team has prepared, so please enjoy. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and all the videos and will be uploaded after this event. So please watch out for that. And it seems like we do have some questions, but marketing team is telling me my time is up. So what we'll do is we'll make sure we'll answer these questions and send to you by email, and also share with everybody the FAQs that we've received through these sessions. So please watch out for them. And like I said, please make sure you register for our second and third live sessions, and visit our Suprema Connect website to be to see all the nice contents that we have uploaded. Okay, so thank you very much for attending this session, and we'll talk soon. Thank you very much.